Welcome to this week's episode of Business Solutions, where we provide solutions on formed lifestyles. And so today we will be handling the thorny waste management issue in our day-to-day operations, be it in our homes, be it in our schools, on our pathways, and how you can manage waste in our day-to-day operations in our lives. And so to unpack this, we sought the guidance of one Naomi Wanjiku, who is the founder and CEO of Global Solutions, that in a way or the other manages waste in a biodegradable way. And to unpack this, we're going to invite her on board with a mission to promote sustainability and environmental stewardship by providing innovative biodigester solutions that efficiently convert organic waste into valuable resources, helping to create a cleaner and more sustainable future for generations to come. And so welcome so much, Madam Naomi. Maybe just tell us who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Thank you so much, Kingsley. My name is Naomi Wanjiku. As you've mentioned, I am the founder, Global Biodigester Solutions. It is a company that is so much passionate about waste management. By waste management, I mean we handle waste from houses, domestic houses, institutions like schools, petrol stations, hospitals, hotels, all kind of waste. And I dare to say that I am among the few women who is ready to touch that for the glory of God. It's a kingdom business, and our major guidance is in the book of Ecclesiastes 9:10 that says that for whatever you do well, for when you go to the grave, there'll be no work or planning or knowledge or wisdom.
Wow, that is quite a purposeful business that you're running. And I will just think about the dominion that God has given us for this world, to take care of it, to oversee all the operations that are happening. What's the inspiration of opening this business, despite now, or rather aside from the book that you've read?
All right, the inspiration, first of all, I am a village girl, and now from where I hail from, we used to experience a lot of sewage and wastewater, especially from my house. My bedroom neared our toilet, and so every time I used to wake up and have stomach issues, because we had behind our house is where we had put in our septic tank, and so every time we had to do some fill-ups, my mom had to wake us up in the morning to go and unclog. And then from there, I got the inspiration to maybe find out, when I grew up to find out what is it that I can do that can be able to manage this kind of waste. Luckily, I was employed by one of the biodigester companies, the first companies in Kenya, and the boss got really attached to me, and he trained me so well, Matters Biodigester, and from there, I grew passionate about it, and that is what I am doing.
Indeed, you've not looked back until now. You're coming up with your own business, Global Solutions, and you're coming up with digesters. Maybe just to set the ground rolling, what is a biodigester, just to begin with?
All right. So a biodigester is a waste management system that is modern. Unlike a septic tank was a traditional way of managing waste. So now a biodigester organically sieves the water into the ground, into the system. First treats the water and then sieves it to the ground. However, we have two types of biodigester. You can choose to recycle the water, and I mean the wastewater from the toilet. Clean it, and you can use it back into your toilet, or rather you can use it for farming. So a biodigester carries waste from the toilet, the bathroom, the laundry area, and the kitchen.
So it recycles it back to normal functioning without waste. And I will think about now the places where you set up these biodigesters. You mentioned a petrol station, and I quite wondered, this is crude oil. Then how is it becoming organic? Because you have a focus on organic waste.
So for the petrol station, we specifically take every institution has a toilet. So for a petrol station, we do not concentrate with the oil. We take through the wastewater from the toilets. Every institution, be it a petrol station, a hospital, a school, every institution has a toilet. So our focus is majorly the wastewater from the toilet. Yeah.
And I will wish to speak about the gaps that we are having even in construction when you're setting up the drainage system that you're having. A building like this one where we are at, even in our homes, we know some of the issues that we're having with septics and issues of clogging, or rather when even you're calling the Nairobi Water and Sewerage Company to come and do the draining, it becomes hectic. What gaps are you feeling?
So the major gap that we are feeling, number one, is ensuring that we have environmental friendly waste. So there's a case I was dealing with the other day. This institution had a septic tank, yeah. So once this exhauster comes, it exhausts. Of course, number one, the thing you will deal with an exhauster is the smell. So after they have exhausted, they just wait for the owners to sleep, and then at night they pour over the waste into the nearby river. So what have they done? Number one, they have made the environment very hazardous for the owners. So number one, the major thing that we are dealing with is environmental cleanliness, making the environment very habitable for the owners and also a place that is conducive to live with.
Okay, that is one of the gaps that you're feeling, and now you're coming up with global solutions where you have different products to ensure that you achieve this to fill this gap that you're feeling. What are some of the products that you have? So
the first product now is the biodigester now that takes up the toilet water, which is commonly known as the black water, and then we have a system that is called AgriStrap. AgriStrap takes in the grey water. What do I mean by the grey water? The grey water is the kitchen water, the bathroom water, and the laundry water. So this goes through to the AgriStrap. Why? AgriStrap is a trapper, as the name suggests, that traps the fats, the oil, and the grease. Why so? Because once after the water goes through the oil has a lot of, as you can tell, oil is so stuck. See, you've seen how crude oil is, yeah? So we ensure that we put in a grease trapper that traps the oil and the fats and the grease from the soap, from the dishes that you wash, and then now it seeps through to another chamber that is known as the French drain. Now the French drain is the last chamber that collects both the biodigester water, the black water from the toilet, and now the grey water. So it seeps through to the French drain. This is clean water. The only thing that it has is a bit of smell, but it is so treated and safe for environment and also very fertile to the soil.
So yes, it can be taken to the farm.
Absolutely.
Okay, then I will think about, now you've mentioned that this grease trap is separate from what the biodigester does, that it focuses on what is coming from the kitchen, from the laundry, which are places where we use a lot of soap, let me just say that, or detergents. Then will it not be expensive for somebody who wants to set up one that can do all these things, but in different places?
No, this is what happens. So the system comes as one. I have seen some people who are omitting the grease trapper while doing the whole system. So while doing a biodigester system, ensure that the whole system is incorporated. This is the biodigester, the grease trapper, and the French drain. Okay. They all work together. If one misses, that is not a system.
It comes as a package altogether, so you don't find people needing just one?
No.
Then what happens if I'm working in a laundry, my building is a laundry, but I'm not needing about the one that goes to the biodigester?
As I said, every building needs a toilet.
Okay.
And to a higher extent, every building needs a kitchen. True. You might not need a bathroom, you might not need a laundry area, but almost all buildings, you need a toilet and you need a kitchen, because you have to feed so that you can go to the toilet. So, and after all this is treated, the last chamber is usually the French drain. Okay. This is where now the effluent soaks in to the ground. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then you mentioned that these are the modern ways of solving waste management issues. I wish to see how you've incorporated innovation and technology in managing your day-to-day operations and creating the solution.
So the technology that we have put in place is now treating the water. How do we do that? If you are to take any closed chamber and close it, lock it, there are bacteria that are formed there anaerobically in absence of oxygen. In any closed chamber should produce some bacteria. So through this, we lock the biodigesters. We allow them to biodegrade. We allow the organic waste to biodegrade aerobically now in the absence of the oxygen. And then also we add in some enzymes. What are enzymes? These are additive bacteria that help in eating up the waste. So once the waste is eaten up, it is produced out as pure water at the last chamber. So in terms of technology, I think that is the major thing that we have been able to capture, ensuring that we understand how to break down the waste.
Yeah, into separate things. And now you're introducing the enzymes. Now these are now the innovative ways that you're coming through it. My question now goes to setting up this thing for this solution to a home residential owner, and I will think they're normally opted at as an alternative. They don't come as a first thought in any home setup or any construction. How are you able now to come up with issues of licensing when you're setting up these things?
All right. Number one, we are licensed by NEMA. And then number two, I have found it in most homeowners that most people are so ignorant on waste management. While deciding on when you're calling in your architect and planning through your house, you find that most owners will ignore the issue of waste management. But I'll tell you this, Kingsley, that waste management should always be the first thing that a homeowner or any planner, anybody that is planning to build a house, that is the first thing you should think about, because once you go wrong in managing your waste, you will not be enjoyably staying in that house, because you will find that sometimes you go wrong in terms of leveling or doing your drainage, and then eventually you start experiencing issues like backflow of the waste. Once you start experiencing backflow, that means that you will not experience a peace in your home. Yeah.
And that is one of the prevailing issues that so many institutions are having, or rather the infrastructure in these institutions. And one of your values is talking about improvement on how you want to keep up with the trends of this kind of particular industry, which is quite untapped. Not so many people are into it. People are going into high technology issues which are tampering with the environment. But you get to find that organic solutions are quite slow in improvement, or quite slow in becoming up to speed with the technology. But how is Global Solutions able to be up to speed?
All right. We are currently partnering with some Chinese industry. As mentioned earlier, we have come up with modern technologies of coming up with plastic biodigesters, because most clients are not able to maybe manage and afford the concrete structures. However, this to highlight, I on a personal level, I would advise on a concrete chambers. However, now times are moving, technology is changing,
and space is becoming limited. Yes.
Very limited.
Yes.
I agree. So we have come up now with the plastic systems. They are actually on transit. The plastic systems are very affordable, number one, and also they take up a very limited space. They are easy to install, and just like the concrete structures, they are long term.
Okay. Yeah. And the thought where most people who come to Nairobi are not coming maybe to settle permanently here, but now you're coming up with solution that looks more permanent in a home setup. How are you able to advise on such kind of a client? All
right, this is what we're saying as to whether you are settling permanently or not. If you buy a house and you want to resell it, once you do a biodigester system, that is a permanent solution. So as to whether you settle permanently, the next person that comes in, they will never have to handle the waste management issues. They will find a solution that has already been dealt with.
Yeah. And we want also to talk about customer focus as Global Solutions? I understand that in as much as this is a solution, it needs maintenance. How are you able to maintain these products that you're having to your clients?
All right. So for a biodigester, it needs very limited maintenance. However, it needs some maintenance. So once we do our system, we ensure that we put in a placard, because there are some things that cannot go through a biodigester. Anything that is non-biodegradable cannot go through it, because this will cause some cloggages, and once the system is clogged, of course you will experience some backflow. So as GloBio, what we do, once we have built a system for our clients, we put in a placard for them on the do's and the don'ts. So anybody that is handling that system, or anybody that is handling the toilet, has to read, be it a domestic manager, be it a shamba boy, someone who is the one that is managing the system. They need to go through the rules and the regulations. Okay. Yeah.
I want you, even as we wrap up, just to give me a vision, or rather a scenario. You've been called upon in a building like this, and they're tired of the backflow of their waste, and it's becoming untenable to their clients, and now people are threatening to leave if there is no solution. And then I hear of Global Solutions by Naomi Wanjiku, and she can set me up a biodigester. Give us the procedures to use come setting up with this thing.
All right. So number one, we are very friendly to our clients. I have ensured that I make my clients my friends. So in a case that we find clients that are so tired of their waste, number one, we take you through the experiences that you will experience by installing a biodigester. Number one, a biodigester never fills up, so you will never have issues of exhausting. Number two, there are no backflows, because once the levels and the drainage levels are done well, and our biodigester is flowing accordingly, you will never have issues of backflow. Number two, there are no outdoors. So we take you through the process of the do's and the don'ts of the biodigester. It's just a little bit of maintenance you need to check on, especially on the grease trap, ensuring that the fats are always removed. If it's in the case of recycling water, we have put in some treatment chambers that need to be recycled every now and then. They need to be refilled you need to remove them after 3 months. But however, we are always together with our clients. We will always check up on you. We will always call you even once we have installed the system with you. So we are always there in case of any.
Talk about maybe the size of the area that you'll need to set this thing up, and now the prices, of course.
Right. So different sizes for different spaces. A biodigester that is for a domestic house is different from the size. The size for the domestic house is different from the commercial house. So majorly for a domestic house, you require only a 1 meter cubic system, which holds up to 1,000 liters of water. That is up to 40 users. That is the smallest you can have, and nobody should tell you that you need a smaller than that. That is the average system that you'll need. And then for the commercial units, you will need there are some flats, like say flats from 80 and below, you can do 2 meter cubic, that is 2,000 liters. And then if it's an institution like schools, we do up to 6 meter. If it's real estate, we go higher depending on the size of the number and the number of users.
Okay. Yeah. Do you wish to speak of the price, maybe for a residential home or even for a school?
Right. Well, for price, it is a bit tricky. Why so? You will find a client in Eldoret. I'm just from Eldoret, and so the price and you see, I'm in Nairobi. For our systems, we use some chambers, some molders to do our system. So I have to transport my molders wherever it is. I'll go up to Lodwar, I'll go up to Uganda. I have done South Sudan, and I have to ensure that I do the same way I'll do in Nairobi is the same way I'll do in South Sudan. So matters price is a little bit tricky.
Yeah, because of that logistics issues, and even the price range in different locations.
Yes, but the lowest I can go for a 1 meter cubic is 80,000 shillings, and this is not a lot, Kingsley. Why I say so? This is a permanent solution. Remember, this is a system that will last you forever. If you're to do a septic system, say it lasts you up to 3 years, and then from there you have to exhaust. To exhaust in Nairobi right now, one lorry is 18,000. You'll find an institution that is exhausting up to 2 times a month. How much is that? So if I charge you 80,000 a month, trust me, it is worth.
And that is the challenge there by Naomi Wanjiku. Why not trust a global solution that is going to transform your waste to something meaningful back to the environment, with a keen focus of doing business the kingdom way, another one a keen focus of ensuring that the environment remains sustainable for all our daily operations. Because remember, God gave us this position to take dominion over the earth and to take care of it, because we are here to leave the world a better place. And that's it for this week's episode of Business Solutions. My name is Kingsley Oluoko. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
96.9 FM, Pearl Radio.